Hello vlog, I am wearing the absolute rattiest t-shirt that I love. I'm about to go do an 11-mile run. I've got several gels. Technically it's a 10-mile run, but I want to do 11. So we'll see. If I don't feel it, I'll shorten it. So as a recap, this is my third half marathon. My first one I felt very trained for. My second one I under-trained for. This one I feel like I've relatively trained for. I feel like 90% good. I will be slower this one, I think, than my first, but we'll see. But I'm really proud of myself and getting myself really back into running, and I think it's going to be an amazing day. One of my favorite reasons to train for the Philly half is the crowd. The actual day of is so amazing, but also you get to see so much gorgeous fall foliage, especially on your later runs, and that's when the runs are longer, so it works out really great. Enjoying the last of this really lush fall foliage. You can tell it's starting to drop, but it's still gorgeous. One really tough part of training at this point is just lots of aches and pains and cramps. My right leg is bothering me, I think like my groin / my hamstring, and I've had some pain in my shins and my ankles, but I try to do a lot of warming up. I have not done as much strength training as I would ideally. I'm hoping over winter I can do more running and strength training and just kind of build up that endurance. So right now it is like 3:30, but the sun sets at 4:50 now. When it is like peak winter, it will set at 4:30. So I wanted to run in the Wissahickon, but with that timing I was like, ugh. So I'm gonna actually run on Kelly Drive, which I think will work well. I didn't bring a headlamp, and even on Kelly Drive it is really good to have a headlamp, and I usually do, but I just decided to kind of risk it. I'm hoping I'll just be at the tail end of, it getting darker, but I think this will take me like 2 hours, so we'll see. I'm in an extremely chatty mood, turns out. Just wanted to say things I've been listening to during the course of this return to running. I really liked the Mel Robbins podcast. I definitely think listen to all of it with a grain of salt, but I've really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed audiobooks. I loved re-listening to good parts of Throne of Glass. And then I also really enjoyed general music. I really enjoyed Lecrae's new album. I really enjoyed his also album with Miles, which is really good. Get Well Soon. And then I've been listening to a book called Before We Were Yours, which is heartbreaking but very good. I'm gonna listen to that. But I'm gonna start with Mel Robbins actually, because I haven't listened to her in like a month. And this one is about productivity, making money, yada yada yada. So I'm like, yeah, I'll listen to that. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. I'm on my second mile. I'll check in with you at the halfway point. It's so stunning, I want to capture stuff, but I gotta run. Okay, I've got 5.5 down, 5.5 to go. Feeling good. Podcast done. Switching over to audiobook. I will be honest, I'm suffering, but I'm close. I've got like about 2 miles left. A little bit less, or a little bit more. So I just gotta push. I finished. It was tough, but I did it. Very happy. Hi vlog, it is Monday night and we are about to go to the gym. Tonight I am doing an interval run, but it's a more easy interval run because I am in my taper. I'm eating some raisins that I opened from the bottom in the dark. It is pretty cold outside. It's 42. It's November 10th and winter is coming. Hello vlog, it is Tuesday. I'm just making my lunch, but past me made future me my lunch. So I have veggies I'm gonna steal some of. I have purple potatoes, sweet potatoes, white potatoes, and carrots. Kind of a fun potato carb medley. Give myself a lot. And then I have a salmon fillet that I made earlier. Hello vlog. It is me, clearly. It's Wednesday. I just did my 30-minute run. Not so bad. I ran towards East Falls on Kelly Drive, and now I'm just going up and down many flights of stairs, as one does before I walk up some hills. But all of this is making me stronger. Good evening vlog. I'm on Main Street in Manayunk, and I decided that instead of doing my run today, I had counseling, and doing counseling and then doing running, it's like you spend your whole day doing healthy stuff, but you don't get to just chill, if that makes sense. So I had counseling today. I decided that I would run tomorrow. I have a 30-minute run, and then Thursday I have another interval, Friday I'm off, and Saturday I have a 7 or 8 mile run. It's pretty cold outside. Mark and me are going to one of our fave spots, which is the Goat's Beard. Good morning, friends. It is Friday. I will be honest, I feel like really tired today, but I'm just getting up, so I probably shouldn't like label myself yet. I'm feeling groggy. I went to Anthropologie yesterday, and I actually went buck wild. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I bought a handful of things that I wanted for a long time with my kind of like allowance that Mark and me have started doing, where he has a chunk of cash, I have a chunk of cash, and it can be for whatever. I'm really liking that because I feel like first off, it helps us be intentional about like how much money we spend on individual things, but also it is nice to just have kind of a little bit more freedom and just a little bit of a YOLO budget. So for my YOLO budget for this 2-week period, I decided I'm getting glasses and mugs. I got this mug that's so cute. Mark got one just like this, but obviously it says M, and it has a little bit of a different design. His is more like a snowman inspired, but like same artistry look. We got 2 of these types of mugs. So this one has little beanies on it, and the other one is like a white tortoise or frost and little snowflakes. So cute. One more mug. This one that says Yo from Philly. I have really wanted that mug. There's a little bit less quantity normally than there are of, say, New York or of some other cities, London, Paris. So I wanted to get it before it was gone, but I honestly am very, very excited. And I'm making toast this morning and eggs. I'm actually not very hungry, but I kind of feel like I need to eat some carbs. I don't know. Like, let's see. Okay, that one could go a little longer. These could go a little longer. I think the pan's getting real hot though. Okay, it is Friday. Yeah, my motivation is also not so high. I woke up this morning early. I didn't sleep the best. Which has actually been kind of a theme this week, but at the same point, what's a girl to do? And sometimes I go through spurts of sleeping badly, but at the same point, I don't want to let that, I don't know, I try not to overthink that. Okay, gonna try my coffee. Yum. Okay, also, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about the fact of the government shutdown that just ended. How so many people were complaining about flight delays, but some of those same people, they didn't have anything to say about food stamps. They didn't have anything to say about furloughed workers working without pay. That's all. Ta-da! Good morning vlog. It is Saturday. Mark and I started the morning off by watching a ton of Slow Horses. Watched season 5, beginning to end, between last night and today. So we watched like 2 or 3 episodes yesterday, like 3 episodes today. Amazing, amazing show. I'm just getting ready to go to the gym. I am running 3 miles today with a 10-minute warm up and cool down, so more like 4.5 miles probably. I've got socks, I've got headphones, and sometimes the motivation is not really there for some of these runs. I probably feel really motivated for 2 runs out of the week, semi-motivated for 1, and usually like at least 1 I don't really feel like doing. But I do it, and sometimes we move around when they happen to accommodate for that. I've been kind of playing a little fast and loose, but I've been getting my runs in. The thing about me is I'm going to expand the task to the time allotted, and then some. I got here to the gym. I've been sitting in the car for like 5-10 minutes. I'm getting out now that my Opal account has locked me out of Instagram because I've been on Instagram for at least an hour today. So without further ado, it's time to actually go into the gym. I also wanted to mention I'm drinking like a noon tablet that has caffeine in it, and I already had coffee. So I'm really hoping this means I have explosive energy on the treadmill. I really love winter overall, but you have to learn to befriend grayness because it is very gray a lot. I don't hate it, but it's giving this a lot. Good morning vlog. I am heading over to my fave coffee shop near us before I go to church. It is pretty sunny. I actually might wear these free sunglasses I got from Frontier. Remember how these types of sunglasses were all the rage for freebies for like 5 years? I'm gonna get some coffee, and I think I'm gonna get a croissant, and I'm gonna walk over to church. I'm gonna help after first service with first 5, and then I will go to second service. I wake up every Sunday and I take forever to get out of bed. I kind of have this habit of like having a major scroll session to get started, and it's kind of like a little tradition that I kind of like and probably also kind of want to eventually do away with. I don't know.
Or do my address too? No. So I'm like, is it actually good, or is she just that? She's like,
I love watching.
yeah.
Like skyrockets on.
Hello vlog. It is 4:30 approximately. And I had a great Sunday so far. I got coffee. I went to church. I went home, then I got more coffee with friends, and I checked out some bookstores, even did a little bit of like a working session at Volo, which was really nice. I bought a book from a new author. This is her second book, Chasing Stars, and it's a little rom-com set in the nearby area. Her name is Linny Mack, and she signed it. It was really, really, really sweet, and honestly just very exciting for her. Nice. Okay. And I also quickly went to Philly Runner in Manayunk, and I grabbed a bunch of gels I wanted to show you guys. So I have a lot of gels. I mean, I went crazy. I got campfire s'mores, wild berries. Some of these I have multiple. 2 more wild berries, and then I got one with Roctane, which really fuels you, but last time I had it, it didn't make me feel the best, so I might use it on another practice run. I've got more. Don't you worry. I've got an orange gel. I really like this. I have a tri-berry. And honestly, I think there's more of the same. So I have another Roctane, another tri-berry. Let's see. I feel like there might be one more, but maybe that's it. Okay, I think that's it. So all in all, I've got approximately 5 gels and 4 of these little waffle situations. I am going to put them in my car console versus in my bag because I have my laptop in my bag and I don't want it to squish. Okay, so that was really fun, honestly. It was a very, very nice time. I'm glad I did it. However, I now need to, I feel like I've spent a lot of money this weekend, so I'm probably gonna sit on my hands this week because I went to Anthropologie this past week and I bought some really cute glasses and mugs that I'd been eyeing for a long time, but it was a little bit of a shopping spree for me at least. And then I went out to dinner with friends on Friday. I got coffee twice today and also put down the payment for our Verbo that my family is using for our Florida vacation. So just while I'm waiting for them to pay me back, and also because we're paying our portion, that's another cost. There was another thing or two. I also gave my mom a gift card for her birthday, so there's been some miscellaneous spending. So yeah, I'm gonna bring it back on the spending, but the gels and stuff needed to happen, so I'm glad I just secured them now. Although I'll probably go there again with my friend Erica, depending on what she brings with her, since she's also running the half, and we'll definitely, I'm sure, want some fuel. And it's just fun to go to Philly Runner, period. But now I know that's off my to-do list. Speaking of my to-do list, I need to get ready and get dressed and get outside and start running. And it is honestly cold. It's cold, and part of me is like, I really don't want to do it. But then I'm like, Katie, it will be cold-ish probably. If not cold, it will be still cool on Saturday next week when we are running. So just go ahead and brave it. But I am going to put on some layers. I don't think my running jacket is clean. I'm not sure. That's an item that's great, but I also kind of wish I had multiple just because you sweat in it and you don't want to wear it again until you clean it. So it just feels like something you have to wash constantly. Especially living up here. But I need to essentially go home, get my game face on, and start this run. I need to run 8 miles, so it will probably take me an hour and a half. And I'm gonna bring some of these waffles and gels with me. And my headphones should be charged, should be good. I also found some interesting podcasts about foster care adoption to listen to. So I may try to queue some of that up. You know, you just have to kind of find your energy on something like this and just not think about it too much, just mind over matter. I thought about going to the gym. I did, and I could, but I think that running that far in a treadmill will ultimately be a worse experience than running in the cold dark, so I am going for cold dark. I just went to the bathroom at the coffee shop, so that's good. So anyway, all that to say, it's been a really lovely weekend. Hello vlog. It is Tuesday. I have to admit, I have been having a not great mental health day, and I feel like overall my mental health has been fabulous the last chunk of time, but I think I got really bummed out, sad, depressed last night and cried about a lot of things, and it's carried over to today. So I think probably by like 3 p.m. I'll be able to kind of turn a page mentally, but at least for me, sometimes it takes some time to kind of like recalibrate, and I'm grateful to work from home because I can have some flexibility. But today I've definitely been crying more and just feeling down. I just made a delicious looking salad. It's a green goddess salad with chopped chicken Mark made and some pasta I made from yesterday. Hello vlog, it is Tuesday and we are at the gym. I'm gonna do sauna, I'm gonna do a 30-minute easy run. Good morning vlog. I am drinking some coffee, I'm eating a peanut butter and jelly, and I'm getting ready for the work day. technically the workday has started, but I'm kind of taking it a little slow. So last night I ran on the treadmill and did sauna, and that was pretty good at the gym. My run felt hard, which kind of concerns me, but at the same point it doesn't really, because I've learned that sometimes the shorter runs that are meant just to be simple and easy, I actually find the most challenging, because for me it takes me a minute to get into the flow of running and to really hit my stride and just feel good. So I actually end up feeling more comfortable the longer the run, if that makes any sense at all. Anyway, but I pushed through, I got it done. And I listened to a good podcast about adoption/infertility. I was really down, like in other clips, I was really down in the dumps yesterday about fertility / I don't even know. I think just sometimes you emotionally hit a trigger, and even though you're not even really thinking about what upset you that much, you're still feeling down and still feeling, at least this is my experience, I was feeling down and kind of like weepy and just kind of crying all day on and off, and just in the throes of being pretty sad. And on one hand, I know that's okay and that happens, but on another hand, trying to just work on my regulation, you know, kind of like a yin and yang there. So it took me a long time to feel better. I voiced them on my best friend Amber a lot, and that helped me. And I got to talk to my best friend Erica and Jen, and that also made me really happy. And going to the gym was definitely good. It was a vibe switch. And the run gave me something else to focus on for sure. So by the time we got home, I was feeling much better. And I've just been loving getting into bed with my red light and then my little like fake fireplace that a friend actually lent us. It is so nice. It's just so cozy, and especially being nice and clean, having a good workout in so you're kind of tired, just felt great. As far as the race goes, I am feeling good. Erica's coming tomorrow and we're gonna have such a fun time. Hello vlog, I am here with Erica.
Hi.
And we are heading over to Ermita's. We are grabbing coffee. Erica is here for the race. Erica, what have we done so far since you got here?
Oh my gosh. We have been to some really great coffee and food places. And we walked around a lot yesterday. We went to this place called the Netflix House, which is new in Philly, and that was really cool. That was in King of Prussia.
Yes, that was really fun. We did brunch, we did coffee,
yeah.
Netflix house. We started watching a historical fiction show about President Garfield.
Death by Lightning is what it was called, yep.
Yes, which honestly was very interesting so far. So now we kind of begin our carb load process. I am working today. Erica's chilling with me. And I'm very, very excited. But we're taking off the morning. So we're starting by grabbing coffee. Today we need to go thrifting for some outer layers. We'll cross this way first, Erica.
This way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, gotta walk. Anyways, we are thrifting some layers once a nearby thrift store opens. And then we are going to eat more food. I will work, and then we'll wake up really early. We're gonna make it at like 4 on race day. So I'll try to film little parts of today, but you know it can get spotty when we're having fun. Good morning vlog. It is my room. It's a little messy behind me. I am getting dressed and I am having a phone issue, which is a little juicy, but I'm very, that's my closet. That's just why it looks messy. I'm very, 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 very excited. Putting on socks, putting on shoes, just ate some waffles, drinking Element, drinking some chai tea for a little bit of caffeine. And I have some layers I thrifted. I thrifted a beanie, gloves, and a jacket that's kind of like a windbreaker. Maybe it's a rain jacket. It's a little unclear. But I also have a poncho because it's going to be raining, I think, leading up to the race. I think it might stop around the time the race starts. We will see. but I'm really glad we have ponchos. We went to Goodwill and we really crushed it. So just getting ready, but very, very, very excited and very happy that we got into this moment. It's kind of just like fun, and I feel like a few days ago my brain kind of switched from like, I don't know, prepare to just like celebration mode. Of like, this is gonna be amazing, this is gonna be fun. I also haven't been listening to explicit music, which I'm still not, but I downloaded some clean versions of certain songs, and I'm very, very excited because I haven't heard some of these songs in like 6 months. I have... Uh-huh. Morpheus! I think that is him. Keep going. Good morning, vlog. I wanted to do a very quick recap on the race to finish out this video. I am about to head over to the gym, actually. It's been like about a week. And, or maybe 2. It's been a week. It feels like it was longer ago. It's been some time since the race, and the race was awesome. The race was awesome. I feel like me and Erica had such a good time, and we actually both got PRs for our half marathon. Very excited. I hit like 10 seconds less or something than the first time I did the half marathon, which I was really pleased with. So as a reminder, I really was coming back from not running much at all for like 2 years. I'd run here and there. I'd focus on weightlifting. I'd not worked out for bouts. Like I was, oh, hold on. No Morpheus. Anyway, the race was amazing. It was so much fun. We just had a great time. We had Mark like help me out by getting me a spot with Spot Hero ahead of time. I felt like it wouldn't be hard to park, but the expo was the only negative part of our race experience, really. The expo, the line to get our bibs took over an hour. It was just really chaotic because it wasn't a clear line. Like it was a situation, you know, when you're in a line that has ropes and everyone stands in the line the ropes form. It was like that, but there were no ropes. And the line stretched the, whatever you want to call it, arena. I don't know. It stretched a very, very long space and it winded. So like the half marathon line was hundreds of people being served kind of one by one almost. And there was also a marathon line, but people couldn't tell which one was which and where the start and the end was. And it was just the blind leading the blind. People were like, is this the half or is this the full? They're like, I think it's that way. And it's like, okay, what's that way mean? And there weren't many staff helping people figure out where to go. There wasn't clear signage. It was just like, join this line that has like 10, not 10, but it had seriously like 4 back and forths before you're where you need to be. It was crazy. And people who have done this race before will tell you it was unlike other years. I ran into someone who's run this race like countless times, and she was like, that was by far the worst expo bib pickup situation ever. So I'm sure they're gonna probably change it for next year because it was cuckoo, but that was the only part that was not so great. It kind of spooked us, so we ended up ordering Honey Grow to be delivered to the house with Uber Eats, and then we took an Uber home or a Lyft, and we got home. Great. We ate, we packed our stuff, we got situated, laid out our clothes, and we were good to go. We woke up at 4 a.m. and we were bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. We actually got a decent amount of sleep. I got like 6 hours, which I think is pretty good, or 6 or 7 for this kind of race. We went to bed quite early, and I just didn't know if I'd be able to. And we did our electrolytes and some carbs, and I didn't go insane on the carbs. I think I had 3, maybe I had 4. I think I had 4 like waffles that are Belgium style from Eggo. So they're like thick and fluffy, and I really like those waffles. So I had 4 of those over the course of the morning. And then right before the race started, I had like a little Strupel energy waffle that they sell, like the Goo brand sells. And I think that was also kind of a good little, just to kind of top me off, because technically that wasn't enough carbs, all the waffle, but I wasn't going to eat anymore because I also felt like other years I've tried so hard to carb load, but I feel like disgusting and I feel weighed down and I feel like tummy troubles, and I wasn't going to do all that either. So anyway, that was my carb loading. I know this is going on for a while, but this is what we're here for, right? That was my carb loading situation. My corral, I signed it for one really far back because I just didn't know how fast I'd be going. And I figured it'd be better to pass people than to fall behind, kind of motive in my mind. And I also think I was in the right corral overall. Like, I had such a good time. What I did once I started, I just kind of feeling like, okay, I'm warming up. And they release people, if you haven't done a race like this before, they release people in waves. So like if you're in Corral A, you're an elite runner. And sometimes these people are like professional runners and or sponsored runners, running influencers who are really exceptional, etc. So my corral was like Corral H. So people come out in waves, and then the previous group moves up, wave, move up, etc. And they did a good job with the corrals. So my race, I didn't start running until like 45 minutes after the thing went off. What's tough is that when you're passing like the time for each mile, you have to remember kind of like, okay, well, I started 45 minutes in. So it says I'm at here 1 hour at the 1 mile mark. That doesn't mean I've been running. It took me 45 minutes to run 1 mile. That means it took me 15 minutes, which I went faster than that, but that's an example. Anyway, what I would do for a lot of the race, and I really recommend this, let me backtrack. I went back and forth about wearing a Fitbit and or using Nike Run Club to track my run. If you're familiar, you know that I have been struggling on the fitness watch, and I had a Fitbit. It really wasn't reading correct measurements of anything, so I eventually just said, hasta luego, my friend. And I bid it a Rivaderci. And I started using Nike Run Club instead to kind of track my pace, and even if it's not perfectly precise, it was pretty darn good. And I would just set in my own programming in there. So all that to say, I was going back and forth between, do I use any type of tracker to give me a sense of how fast I'm going or not? I'm glad I didn't. I actually think I went faster not knowing, because I think if I had been tracking, I would have been thinking about, okay, maybe I should pull back because I want to make sure I can conserve energy, and I haven't run any of my other runs at this pace. So I was running like about an 11-minute mile, and I don't really know exactly the differences in between. I think some miles were a little bit under, some were a little bit over, but I was keeping a pretty consistent 11:07 mile. And I really had done speed workouts, and I had done intervals where I was doing like 11:19, but I hadn't done this distance at that pace. So that's really where the whole effort of doing the interval runs and doing the slow and long runs kind of comes together to hopefully give you a little bit more speed than you would have if you just did your easy run, which I think it did, because a lot of my easy runs were really between 11:45 and 12:30. So hitting 11:07 was great for me. What I did is I would follow folks and use them kind of as my pacer. And obviously I couldn't tell how fast they were going, but I could tell like, okay, how hard is it to keep up with them? And if I felt like it was a decently comfortable pace, even if it was pushing, hold on. These cats love this tree. Anyway, I felt like it was a hard pace, but a doable pace. So I followed this one guy who had like a purple bandana on his head for probably 2 miles or something. I don't know, at least a mile, probably 2 miles. Then there were these 2 girls who I started to follow. I did them for like another 2 miles. And honestly, and this is probably not cool, I tend to follow the people I follow at a pretty close pace. So like these girls were like here, and I would either be behind them, to the left of them, or to the left of them, to the right of them. because I felt like they had a good pace and I didn't want to give myself a mental excuse to start falling behind. And then eventually I think I started to go past them. Although, who knows? Towards the very end of the race, I actually saw the guy with the purple bandana again, and he was walking, and I think he was just maybe a little injured, so I'm hoping he was able to finish the run okay, because he done such a good job, and he was a bit faster than me, so eventually I lost him in the first following, if you will. Other things, the Philly race crowd is so enthusiastic. They're so much fun. The signs are mostly very, very funny, and it was super cute. Part of the route has a bit of an incline, but it's not the end of the world. It really isn't. And I trained a lot in Manayunk and specifically in the Wissahickon. So I did do a lot of gradual inclines and declines, and that's what a lot of this was. So I also think that training really played a good part in helping me feel comfortable with it. I mean, it was a bit of a push, but it wasn't like, this is a nightmare, when will this be over? Because it wasn't like, we didn't have many true bridges, and the bridges that we ran over were more gradual and they weren't massive. Like, it was all very doable. And someone was saying that the Philly course to them is pretty flat, so probably true. And you know what? I'll take it. I will take it. And towards the very end of the race, I mean, at parts I was just very emotional. I was like, I would laugh and then I would start crying, but I wouldn't like fully cry except for one part. I really did cry. And I think I just felt so proud of myself and so much self-love and just gratitude, gratitude for me being able to see this much progress in this relatively short of a time period. So I really went from like couch to half marathon in 6 months. And I'm just really proud of myself for following most of my workouts. And I had a really fun packed October, but at the end of the day, I had most of my workouts. And also I'm just proud of myself for having fun during the race and not getting so in my head. Part of the reason I didn't want to track is because when I've tracked in the past, I start to overthink. Like I kind of mentioned, my pace. And I start to think, am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? And I start to get down on myself for being a slower runner. But in this race, I was able to be present and have fun. And yeah, it was great. I listened to a lot of Lecrae. I listened to a lot of Lecrae, KB, Tripoli, Andy Mineo. And then I listened to clean SZA songs, select songs, and clean select Kendrick songs. My playlist had a lot of repeat, so next time I'd make it longer. I don't really know, and I think part of it was the way that my phone was queuing up the songs. I felt like it was repeating a lot. Anyway, so that was like a little annoyance. Gels wise, I packed a bunch of gels. I did water, and then they also had electrolyte water, so I kind of did both. I did mostly electrolyte water, but I did start drinking a little bit more water. Your mouth gets kind of like, ugh, with all the sugar of the gels and the waffles and the electrolyte water. So it was just amazing. It was such a great time, and you know, me and Eric were able to find each other without any hard time. My phone was kind of glitching, and maybe I didn't plug it in right. I don't know what was going on, but I had some phone issues. So the first 7 miles, I had my phone off, or I had my phone on airplane mode. I was just scared that it would die. And Erica and me were gonna be really on a struggle bus if we did not have my phone working. Because Erica doesn't live here, and we both have a slight propensity to get lost, and it's a very crowded area. So really not ideal for me to have my phone not work. So we were able to find each other, which was awesome. We got back to the car, got out, no issue, and then we were able to come home. We relaxed, we chatted, we watched some TV. We started watching Succession, I think, or continued watching Succession. And then we eventually rallied and we went to Cure Amor for their Christmas market or Christmas like bar situation. Then went to Longwood Gardens the next day. We also showered, etc. The crazy thing about the whole race was that we did not feel incredibly sore. And a lot of times you feel stiff as a board, and it's genuinely hard to walk, and it looks so dramatic, but it really is. But this time we were able to do it. So that is my recap. Thank you for watching my vlog.